Hey, what's going on? Welcome. Been off for a couple days. Today we're going to take a look at Lone Wolf and Cub. Uh, in particular, this book that I just finished, Lone Wolf and Cub Omnibus number 7 by Kazuo Koike and Goseki Kojima. So, Lone Wolf and Cub. What is Lone Wolf and Cub? If you've never heard of Lone Wolf and Cub, Lone Wolf and Cub is a Japanese manga or comic that started in 1970 in Japan. And the story, so in Japan, it was very popular as a comic in the early 70s. They made 6 films out of the series. And they also made a long-running Japanese television show out of the series, and you can watch those episodes here on YouTube. They're good; they hold up just like these comics do. So this is one of my favorite Japanese mangas. It's a great story. So back to the beginning. Started out in 1970 as a comic. Early 70s, they made a TV show and 6 movies. All of this was only available in Japan. Nobody had heard of Lone Wolf and Cub until 1980. In 1980, a film company took 2 of the Lone Wolf and Cub movies. I think most of Shogun Assassin is from a movie called Baby Cart at the Gates of Hell, I think. Because this is the baby cart assassin. I'll tell you the story in a second, how this all lines up. So, 1980, they edit together this movie for American release. And the movie is called Shogun Assassin. Now, the first time I saw this movie was in about 1981. One of my good friends in high school, his father was before being a weeb was a thing, my buddy's dad was a Japanese aficionado. He had a beautiful collection of Japanese art and artifacts and history and movies. First time I ever saw Seven Samurai was at their house. First time I saw Yojimbo was at their house. So all of the early samurai movies, I learned all about that stuff from my buddy Lance and his dad. So one time his dad came home with tapes, and this was, like I said, like 1981, when a VHS tape was $50 or $100. So he came home with this mystery movie we had never seen or heard of called Shogun Assassin. And Lance and I watched that in the downstairs TV at their house. It's the first time we saw the whispering of the wind. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. So that movie made an impact on me, but I didn't at that time know anything I didn't know that the story was bigger than that. I did not know that. So in 1987, First Comics came out with a series reprinting for the first time for American audiences the early 70s Lone Wolf and Cub comics, and westernizing it by putting original Frank Miller covers on the comic books and arranging the move this out of the way, sorry. Arranging the stories in a Western fashion from left to right for the first time, right? So look at here, we're going to take a look. So this is the largest scale that I've seen this printed in. Kojima's art is simple but complex, very hyper cinematic, almost reads like, or it does read like a storyboard. As you can see, I randomly opened this up. And then after that, I think Dark Horse. Is it Dark Horse? Yeah. Dark Horse put out this series in this smaller, more traditional Japanese manga format, still going from left to right, westernized, and a collection of stories. So the original comics are 60 pages long, just like the ones that comic I looked at. These have look, there's Daigoro. These have, looks like 4 60-page stories in them, and then you get the glossary to help you learn about Japanese and Japanese history. But the book that we're really here to look at and talk about today is this new Lone Wolf and Cub Omnibus. Well, it's not that new. This came out in 2015, but it's new to me. So this is the first one of these I've got. It's a collection of those stories amassed in order in this larger format. It's actually the kind of the best of both worlds. It's not quite as big as the old comic, and it's more comfortably large, so you get the pictures bigger than the other manga style one, and it's got a bunch of the 60-page stories in it. And what I can tell you about Lone Wolf and Cub is that you can jump into Lone Wolf and Cub honestly without reading the first 6 volumes or any other volumes. You could read any one of these 60-page stories out of order on its own and learn about Lone Wolf and Cub and get into it. But this omnibus, I think, is the best cost-effective way to do it. The story of Lone Wolf and Cub, or at least, what is this all about? What am I talking about, Lone Wolf and Cub? So the lone wolf, the baby cart assassin, you can see him right there, he's a Ronin. The series takes place in Edo period Japan, and it is very historically accurate and beautifully drawn and painted. Ogami Ito, or the Lone Wolf, is a Ronin. He is a rogue samurai assassin. He was a very high-ranking, like maybe in amongst the Emperor's favorite samurai. So some stuff went down, and he has to go on the run. I don't even know, I don't remember what the whole story is at this point, but he is exiled from, not only, he's being hunted down at all times by the government and also by the samurai clans. He is never to be enveloped back into traditional Confucian caste system society. He is forever on the run, forever hunted. But he has a 3-year-old son named Daigoro. And the Lone Wolf, he has to keep Daigoro with him at all times. For the most part, in this story, this is a really interesting story with not a lot of dialogue, because this is a story about Daigoro being left. See, look at the cart is left in this alley. I think he's here for a couple days without his dad. So Ogami Ito has to keep the cub with him at all times for multiple reasons, right? It's all he has to live for, and without Daigoro, he is in the greatest of, he is at the gates of hell, right? Beautiful stuff. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend it. What is this, like 700 pages or something? It's great. Here's an ad on the back. This is Samurai Executioner. This is another Japanese manga created by the same guys, Koike and Kojima. I've never read it. I'm gonna get some. This is the new Lone Wolf and Cub. This is stories about Daigoro after Ogami Ito is gone, and it's really, this is good too. But the artist Kojima passed away, and so these new Lone Wolf and Cub stories are written by the same writer, but drawn by a new artist who's really, really good. Here's where you can, read up about these guys. And then in the back of these, I mentioned, there's always a glossary. so you can learn about what you're reading. So, in closing, Lone Wolf and Cub, Omnibus number 7. If you can find these, and I found mine on Amazon like everything else, and they've got a few of I mean, it's Amazon, so it changes, and you can probably find just about everything, I guess. But this was the one that was on sale and showed up in my suggested. So I was like, I haven't read Lone Wolf and Cub in years. So I ordered this, and boy, am I happy I did. I highly recommend it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day or evening, and I'll talk to you guys later.